challenge for them. Not only surviving the game, but surviving each other.
Well, we know her, we love her from New Girl. Hannah Simone now hosting a new competition series called Kicking and Screaming. We've seen the previews for this thing. It looks a little bit disgusting at times, but give me the condensed version, the Reader's Digest version of what this show is about and what's at stake.
Yeah, absolutely. We took 10 total novices and 10 hardcore survivalists. We paired them up, they're polar opposites, and threw them into the jungles of Fiji. And they had to go through a challenge week to week to try to survive to the end to win $500,000. The little catch is if your partner quits because they can't handle the jungle or they can't handle you, you are also out of the game. So if you want to win that money, you better find a way to work together.
And a lot of these survivalists are very much individualists. They probably would just as soon be out in the jungles of Fiji. They're happy to be there, but they'd rather be alone rather than with some schlub from New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, that was the part that was fascinating. I think so many people thought that this would be a walk in the park for the survivalists and the novices would really struggle. And the novices did struggle. But the survivalists, like you said, they're lone wolves.
I was a combat diver in the military. I was with a recon unit.
And all of a sudden, they're paired with someone who is crying because their makeup is running. And they're like, they don't know what to do with that. It's just sort of like, get it together. We've got to go and eat bugs now to win the challenge so we can make it to next week. So it was fascinating to watch how people had to learn to work together if they were going to continue on in the game.
Now tell me that you didn't get a little bit of perverse pleasure watching these people eating boiled giant worms and knowing that you and the crew were going to take a break and go back to the catering tent.
It kind of puts you off your lunch, I'm not going to lie. For me, it was so hard to even think about picking up the tray of these disgusting creatures and just walking it over for them to eat. Like, that was a big enough challenge for me in and of itself. It was gross.
And I would imagine that the producers probably, as you say, picked these people knowing that this woman, survivalist, is really not going to get along with this guy, rank amateur.
I'm an amateur fashion student and a professional club goer.
Absolutely. I mean, they tried to pair people with their complete polar opposites. As much as this is about being in the jungle and learning your survival skills, this is a game about human relationships. And so how can we get along? And initially all we see is the differences between the two of us, but how can we find things in common and recognize things that you have that you're good at that I need that will help us win the game? And it was amazing to watch the survivalists find those qualities in the novices.
Did you find it your role to kind of bring them together and say, guys, you got to make this work? Or was it your role to kind of stir things up a little bit? That's what I would do.
I mean, for me, I'm such a massive fan of the genre. I've grown up watching these shows. The fact that I was hosting one was incredible. And so I'm just a fan. I'm a fan of it. And now I'm off the couch and I'm in the world. So my questions that I would have and the comments that I would make were just as the same as someone who's watching it on their couch watching the TV. Like, I was just fascinated. So sometimes I was like, I don't understand your strategy. What are you doing here? Right. And other times you're like, you guys better figure it out, because otherwise you're gone and you've done all of this for nothing.
Right. You've sweated, you've suffered, and you ate that stuff, and you're walking away with zip.
Right. Exactly.
We are looking forward to seeing Kicking and Screaming tonight, 8 o'clock here on Fox 4. Thanks very much.